Hello Year 9 and welcome to your exciting homework project. So you are going to be watching this video to start off with, then you're going to be completing one of two workbooks, either the mild or the medium Nando's chili heat one. So again, if you want to get up kind of like a level 5, then pick the medium difficulty one. If you're happy to get up to like a level 4, then pick the mild difficulty workbook. Then there is a little quiz at the end of this topic that you need to fill out, which is down below on your Google Classroom, and you just fill that in and then you just click submit, and make sure you upload any work you do, so the workbook and that quiz, make sure you upload it up to your Google Classroom so myself or another DT teacher can see that you have completed it. So this topic is going to be on sustainability and sustainable materials specifically. So firstly, what is a sustainable material and what is an unsustainable material? So a sustainable material could be anything such as a material that is obviously grown naturally or is can be reused, which that decomposes naturally or doesn't take years and years or hundreds of years to decompose like plastic. For example, we've got cork, which comes from the bark of the cork tree. We've got seaweed, which is being used more and more to make packaging and creative innovations for that. Bamboo, obviously. We've got the cardboard over here, which also comes from trees. Wool, or ute, or alpaca. And we've got some natural wood up here as well. So they're things that can be used, and then you can plant another tree, grow it, so it's sustainable. If it grows back or can be reused within 50 years, we tend to say that it is a sustainable material. Unsustainable materials are materials that don't biodegrade naturally or do take hundreds, if not thousands of years to do so, such as plastic. So our friend plastic, material that we as human beings have created from oil that we take out the ground or under the sea. And the main reason we love plastic so much, because it's used to create so many products, so many things around us are made from plastic, is because of its properties. Its properties are fantastic. It's perfect for a carrier bag, or a board marker, or a plastic bottle. And we've become so dependent on plastics that so many products that we own and we love are made from this material. The problem is, not all of it is recyclable, so the really horrible plastics like thermosetting plastics cannot be recycled at all. They have to be put into landfill. And even some plastics that can be recycled, at the end of plastic's life, it takes hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of years to biodegrade. So it is not a sustainable material. On top of that, oil will run out one day, and so we won't be able to make it. So it's all about thinking about what materials can we use instead, and how can we reduce our dependence on plastics. Also, as you may know, the amount of plastic now in the sea, by about 2050, will surpass the amount of fish that are in the sea. So that's how much plastic there is. There's big patches of plastics which are called the Great Garbage Patches in the Pacific Ocean. One of them is about 3 times the size of France. So that's how much waste and plastic is going into our oceans as well. Birds and fish are feeding on this plastic, and then they're feeding it to their young, and we're saying that human beings have microplastics inside of us because of the products we use and when we eat fish and all this kind of stuff. So plastics is a real problem, and we need to cut down the amount of plastics we use, and we need to make sure that we're using other materials instead. Also, a lot of packaging that uses plastic just doesn't need to be made of plastic. Cardboard would be fine, or a sustainable material or alternative such as seaweed. So we need to think as designers of how we can replace products. So how can we redesign that so it doesn't use plastic, making it more sustainable and better for the planet? Now, you could argue that this product on its own is sustainable because it's a reusable water bottle. So buying one of these is good for the planet because you're not using single-use products. But still, at the end of this product's life, if it can't be recycled, it has to go into landfill, it can't be reused. So we need to rethink as designers how we do that. So new materials that are being found and used. Seaweed is just one of them. So it's used to kind of make these little beads to hold liquid. Instead of using a plastic bottle, you can put your liquids inside this edible seaweed capsule. They were used at the London Marathon. And then you just put it in your mouth, and it just dissolves and goes into your bloodstream, goes into your stomach. Completely safe, doesn't taste of anything, doesn't taste like seaweed, and that's completely sustainable. Or you just open something up, like if you've got a burger wrapped in seaweed, you can open it up and you can throw the wrapper on the ground and it will biodegrade. So it's good for the planet. It will go back into the earth. It won't stay there forever and ever and ever. So yeah, we've got to think about reusing products, and we've got to think about reducing the plastics that we use in our packaging as well. So cardboard can be a really good alternative. So having a look here, some examples of where packaging is used as just too much plastic and there's cardboard when it could just be used, just cardboard on its own, as seen over here. And there's lots of examples here that show how cardboard can be used, which can be recycled and then reused again over and over again. More sustainable, better for the planet. And finally, in terms of contributors to waste and landfill, packaging is the #1 worst. So it's the thing that we throw the most away, the most into landfills, packaging, which is pretty sad considering that there's not everything needs to be packaged, and the fact that people get packaging, they just chuck it straight in the bin and then it's thrown out. Food packaging, food, stuff like that. So packaging being the biggest contributor to landfill and to human waste means that we've got to rethink how we package products, what materials we use. Okay, so hopefully I didn't go through any of that too quickly. You can obviously restart the video and skip back if it helps you with the worksheets, but next you've got to pick one of the workbooks, fill it out on a PDF, or if you can edit PDFs or use it on a piece of software like that, or feel free to just put your answers on a separate Word document or Google Drive, that's absolutely fine. Then upload it, and then you've just got to do the quiz to finish this mini project. Good luck, and I will see you around.